you Yeah, bitch, I shared everything a while ago. Yeah, okay. Welcome everyone, folks, to today's live stream. How's everyone doing? Everything's shared. We're good to
You're
go.
a disaster, man. You're actually a disaster. Holy. We're live now, I guess.
So,
We're
well, you know what,
definitely
man?
live. Let me take off this music.
This world is. By the way, that's
Huh.
great music there.
Yeah, I made it.
Did you?
I did.
Great music.
Yeah, I definitely did. Good morning,
Great choice of
people.
music.
Let us know if you can hear us fine. Sorry for our friends' comments here and false language.
Yes. Kind of a surprising start to a live stream.
It is 100% surprising, man. So what do we have? Eating some tacos, feeling good, nice. Got morning folks, Gerald. How's it going, man? Or woman, depending. G Boggins just sent us a moon. Alex saying what's up. How's everyone doing today, man? How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, Bitcoin seems to be holding it together.
I'm asking about your
I have the
feelings.
coffee. My feelings?
Yeah,
I mean, not too good, man. I'm still trying to find that reference for my McDonald's application.
right. I didn't get a
So
call yet, if that's what you're referring to.
I could use you as a reference.
Go ahead, man. I kind of feel bad for you, to be honest.
Well, there we go. Problem solved. My day's going a lot better so far then.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, guys, how's it going? I guess we'd let the gates open for the masses. A million viewers every day, hundreds of thousands of views. Welcome to aMillionortheMoon. We decrypt the crypto market. We demystify it. There's a lot of myths, a lot of mystic activities on YouTube. This is where it's at, man.
Mystic activity. I think you're stealing that line from someone, eh?
100%. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
everyone knows, but I loved it. I heard it today. I'm like, ooh, kind of want to steal that.
100%. It's a great line. Demystify with all the mist.
All
Because
the
this
myths.
is indeed a misty market.
It is a misty market.
That's how I describe this place. It's highly misty. It's just the side. What is what's the saturate? What's the humidity? It's just off the charts, man.
What are you talking
And
about?
so I don't know, man. I'm just trying to follow the reference here. But
Anyways,
look, bro. Bottom line is here. Bitcoin put in a very bullish 4-hour candle when we put in that lower low. Lots of buy volume coming in, and we're seemingly seeing a little bit of bullish divergence here from our downtrend. So, man, let me ask you: Are you buying this? How do you feel about the current state of Bitcoin?
I feel kind of good. I guess not so good because we still need some sort of confirmation, but on a very, very, very low time frame. Not very, I guess, but like on the 4-hour mid time frames, I guess. It's pretty clear for me that we actually had some sort of a breakout, and we went up, came back to retest it. Again, went down to retest it after this hammer candle a couple of days ago. Went down to retest exactly at it, and now looks like we're pushing. So two nice 4-hour candles. When you push up, a lot of resistance at the 34, 35K. We went back down to retest it. Now we want to see, are we going to break this again? Are we going to break the high of this? The biggest thing I would say that was, a bit hopeful was this candle over here, where you can see as soon as we went down, the trend was a retest, a bit of indecisive, not indecisive candle, but this is some sort of a reversal candle where you see that we're going down, we got rejected. Now we get here, we see this candle. It's telling us that buyers and sellers fought at this point. But there were more buyers in the market. We're seeing a wick to the upside, wick to the downside. Sellers tried to push the price down below the support, which was previously a resistance ever since June 15th. So it's been almost 9 days ago. We've been getting that resistance off of this line. So this resistance has been established. We know that. There's no lie about that. Now, we came back down to retest. I'm just going to, just kind of build this out. So yeah, man, we saw this. Now again, buyers took that signal and jumped into the market, pushing Bitcoin's price from 32,849 all the way to the 33,886. So now we're seeing that push. Are buyers going to come in? Are we going to have some sort of a follow through? We're going to see, man. Don't ask me dumb questions.
I I guess. Yeah, no, I guess. And so, folks, look, it is interesting what Bitcoin's doing. You're right. We're kind of following that trend line. I have mine drawn slightly different than mine, but I think it means the same thing. We're still putting in a higher low in the short term. Although for me, man, I think it's pretty clear what Bitcoin needs to do in the immediate short term if we want to see bullish continuation, which is we need to flip 34,000 into from resistance into support. Because as we can see here, all throughout this recovery, all throughout our uptrend, we've been getting rejected exactly off 34,000. Look how these wicks, we keep trying to break up. It keeps getting smacked down every single time. And so if we want the recovery to continue, we need to further change and reverse the downtrend. And the first thing we need to do to reverse the downtrend is get hourly candles closing above 34,000, get above that volume, get above a fib level right here, get above a price reactive level right here. So this is a very relevant level. During one of Bitcoin's previous flash crashes, 34,000 was also very relevant here. We got wicked off these regions, broke out. That previous resistance and acted as support. So very relevant level to maintain here. We also have the 55 EMA on the weekly right here at 32,000 kind of 500 paired with volume. And so right now, Bitcoin stuck between very strong support here, kind of again 32,600-ish, this volume in that 55 weekly, and then 34,000 super strong resistance. So we're in this very tight range. And in the near future, we're going to break out. And whatever way we break out, we're likely to trend in that direction for quite some time, in my opinion.
Man, that's a very solid analysis, man.
You know, that's just what I do, folks. You know, just what we do here on this channel. Solid analysis, 24/7.
Deep,
That's what we
in
should.
depth.
Yeah, that's what we should put in our bios. Solid analysis.
So yeah, man. No, I agree with you. I think this pretty much like sums it up in terms of price action. Yesterday we were talking about this here. We discussed this. Man, there's so much news out there today, and good news. And we kind of did a bit of not research, I guess, but we've been seeing it kind of everywhere. And the general sentiment in the market for the past couple of months has been extremely bearish, clearly. But we're seeing a bit of a reversal in terms of what we have in the news, and in terms of the dominoes effect that a lot of these countries are falling into right now. And we're seeing a huge push, a huge race for digital currencies, and we're going to discuss that with you guys today. So if you like the live stream, if you always come here and you like the information we provide, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, because there's a bunch of things here that we need to discuss about that I don't really see much on YouTube, to be honest with you, man. All I see a lot of is just hope. And obviously, a bunch of our thumbnails are always clickbaity. We do have fun with it. We do try, just the creative side of it. But
It's on purpose,
once you actually, 100%. But once you actually enter the live stream, you'll get the real deal, the real biz, just like how we like to call it. So yeah, make sure you like. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, we'll get into it. I guess that's pretty much it for the price action. We're having that breakout on lower time frames. We see that the market did respond, although these are small movement, guys, but you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep it in mind that buyers on lower time frames, which is a lot of noise, and we understand that, but these lower time frames, I don't want to say lower, for is mid time frame, do paint a picture on a short term what's going to happen in the market. And to me, this is a pretty clear breakout that I want to see some follow through. And we did have breakouts before, but not a lot of follow through. I guess the market wasn't really ready for buyers to jump in. I want to see today and the next couple of days if buyers do take the signal as if we're going up, combined with all the news we have out there and what we're going to share with you. Yeah, we just need to see. So who's going to inform me on that? But man, there's a bunch of stuff happening in the market in terms of what's different countries getting in. And I got a huge list of countries with what they're doing. They all have different interests. Why are you smiling?
We got some breaking news about Israel, man.
100%, man. There's a bunch of stuff because Israel's doing it differently too.
New news, never before mentioned.
Never before mentioned, which is, I don't know if you're sleeping on these live streams, man. I know I'm boring.
What do you mean? I
Because I
don't
know
have
the
zero
people,
clue what
guys.
you're talking
Let's
about.
just ask the people here, guys. Did you hear yesterday about, did you remember us talking about Israel testing their digital shekel on the Ethereum network? Please do, because me and this guy have a huge bet that he's actually gonna shave his mustache because he doesn't remember that I actually brought it up
No.
yesterday. So let
I
us
have
know.
no idea what you're talking about. This is brand new breaking news, man.
Is okay. Anyways,
No,
so
but go ahead, go ahead.
so yeah, man. What do you think here? Maybe I start with that, and then we'll see what's gonna happen after. If you have anything of value to add.
Please,
Okay. Thank you for
please
the
go ahead.
permission. Thank you for the
Yeah, I
permission, sir.
got you.
So, a
You're
couple of
welcome.
days ago, guys, we've been talking about this bank. So, overall, the picture you need to understand: crackdowns in China. Miners are migrating to the west, to Europe, to Kazakhstan, to the U.S. and Texas, and to Europe as well. And we're seeing those deals happen with miners and big I guess warehouses where they can actually start mining and all that. So we're seeing that happen. We're seeing that migration, and we're seeing a fall in terms of Bitcoin's hash rate and a lot of those big mining pools, such as Antpool, Poolin, F2 Pool. They've all been having a lower hash rate and mining power on the Bitcoin network. So that's one of the things. But the biggest thing we start talking about is Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of all central banks, talking and researching about digital currencies and saying, look, we like it. We should start looking into it. But what kind of architecture should we have? What kind of overall protocol? How do we go about it? And put a bunch of research papers out there that we shared with you here, in which they talk about the different architectures, what they should be looking at: hybrid versus intermediated, CBDC, central bank digital currencies. And we saw how it started also with as well with El Salvador, saying that Bitcoin now is a legal tender, and they're all institutions and corporations are now supposed to accept Bitcoin as as some sort of a payment, or as whatever. It's basically it's a legal tender, so you can pay with it and do business with it. But overall, this is what we shared a couple days ago. Again, yesterday, guys, in case you guys forgot, I'm looking at you, man. Bank of Israel stepping up central bank digital currency efforts with reported tests on Ethereum. They're testing their digital shekel on Ethereum, seeing how that goes. So we're seeing that as well. And we also shared, that's like 3-4 days ago, Goldman Sachs wrapping up Bitcoin trading, a new partnership with Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital, right? So we started seeing that. Now we're starting to see more and more. Bank de France testing digital currency-based security settlement. It completed a central bank digital currency pilot for security transaction in collaboration with Swiss crypto bank SIBA. Overall, what do did you say something?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So on Monday, the bank officially announced the successful completion of CBDC experiment with major Switzerland-based cryptocurrency bank. A bunch of things to talk about here. They're saying it also, this paves the way for other alliances in order to benefit from the opportunities offered by financial assets and blockchain environment. A lot of buzzwords. Is it positive buzzwords? Yes, I'll take it. No problem. Texas crypto users will soon also be able to buy and sell tokens at major supermarket chains. We know Texas now. The mayor of Texas, I keep forgetting his name, man. Chris Abbott, is that what his name is? If you guys remember, also talking about, we want to be the hub for Bitcoin, hub for cryptocurrencies, and they're allowing that to move in. And we're seeing a domino effect happening right now. Crypto miners eye cheap power in Texas, but fears aired over impact on the grid. Sure, now recently, today actually, Aussie state government blockchain platform may prevent Tower Block Inferno. The platform was commissioned by the New South Wales state government, in Australia, taking inspiration from supply chain initiatives to track beef products using blockchain. The platform will allow property insurers, investors, and owners to access verified data on the resources. And let me know when I'm talking too much, man, but I feel like this is too important. And I think, if anything, people actually should know about what's happening worldwide, with all these different countries here, man.
Yes, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, okay, sure thing, man. The integrity and trustworthiness of Australian property construction has emerged as a major concern after the 2017 Grenfell Tower disaster in the United Kingdom prompted a national investigation. So look, they want to use, the use case. Is VeChain going to be a part of this? Probably not, but that's what VeChain is all about. So Australia, the New South Wales state is looking at some use case for blockchain. Nothing much about digital currencies, but they're like, there's some sort of use case here for us to ensure the integrity and trustworthiness of all these projects, and they can track subcontractors and contractors and building processes during construction to make sure everything is going well. Again, Nasdaq Dubai rolls out trading for 3iQ's Bitcoin fund. So 3iQ's launches Bitcoin. This is yesterday. Launches Bitcoin fund trading on Nasdaq Dubai after receiving regulatory clearance from a dual listing in April. So Canada's largest digital asset. Let us know where you guys from, by the way. Where are you from, by the way, man?
Me?
No, yeah.
I'm born and raised, man.
And
Born and raised
on Earth. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So Canada's largest digital asset investment fund manager, 3iQ, is expanding its reach to global investors by listing its public Bitcoin fund on a major market in the Middle East. I believe that whether it happens this year, Bitcoin is going to get to a new all-time high. Yesterday's Bitcoin closed at 32,000 a unit. Look at these stock guys, man, talking like 32,000 or pips. They start talking about pips and units and whatever the case might be. This morning, it opened up at 34,000, which obviously got rejected again. So we got about 5% boom in the price of Bitcoin just yesterday. Hopefully, we're going to get a good move on the first day in the Dubai Nasdaq. And notice that it's the largest cryptocurrency in Canada. It became the first crypto fund to be regulated by the Ontario Security Commission and the Canadian Security Administrators in January 2018. And it was the first Canadian company to launch a public Bitcoin fund on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Represent, baby. Nigeria's communication minister links blockchain to national digital innovation efforts. Nigeria government is looking to drive Bitcoin adoption as part of its plans to establish emerging technology centers around the country. They want to use it, man. Highlighting the conference theme, building a new Africa with AI, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. And Tammy stated that the government was working towards establishing innovation centers. We're also actively preparing to take advantage of blockchain technology for our digital economy, and we recently developed a national blockchain adoption strategy. Man, asset manager QR launching Bitcoin ETF on Brazilian stock exchange. Now, the Brazilian stock exchange has launched trading another Bitcoin ETF again, man, marking the growing acceptance of crypto industry in the country. Again, we're seeing QR's Bitcoin ETF is not only cryptocurrency ETF listed on the B3 in April. The Brazilian stock exchange rolled out trading for the country's first crypto ever ETF index, which is basically replicating the Nasdaq crypto index that consists of multiple currencies, Bitcoin, ETH, Stellar, Litecoin, and a bunch of other altcoins. Same thing, man. Dubai, New York City, this guy here, they have mayor elections, I guess, right now in New York. Are you familiar with
Mayoral elections. Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang is apparently very pro crypto. He's talking about making New York a kind of hub for Bitcoin. So that would be very great to see, because New York has historically been pretty anti crypto. They've been passing kind of regulations, stopping trading. They've been very anti crypto. So if indeed Andrew Yang gets in as mayor of New York, I think that would be extremely positive for crypto, given how much of a financial hub New York is.
100%. Even what we have, like last week or a couple of weeks ago, they passed a bill to not passed the bill, they put a bill together to ban Bitcoin mining, and that got shut down literally the next day at the Senate. Or I'm not really a big politics guy, but I just see they were saying about it getting shut down real quick. They were talking about, Bitcoin is not good for the environment, this and this and that. The guys inside said, nah, we're not doing that, and got shut down pretty quick. So, man, El Salvador, Paraguay, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Brazilian stock exchange ETF for Bitcoin. What else? Everybody talking about digital currencies. Israel, big banks, central banks. What does that tell us, man? What do we?
It tells us it's extremely clear, the picture you're drawing here, and the literal advice you're giving, it's crystal clear, which is we should just blindly FOMO in with no thought to when we're buying and what would constitute, bullish continuation, bearish continuation. Like at the end of the day, I think all this like making decisions based off a rational plan is really kind of inhibiting like a lot of fun, right? And like the
Right.
YOLO good vibes nature. So I think this is just painting a picture of you should just like YOLO and 100x leverage with no thought for tomorrow because there's a chance you could be right. And that rational thinking is inhibiting you from capitalizing on the potential of you being correct.
Wow. Can you be any more like vague? Can you be any more vague, man?
No, that's no, look,
My mouth
go
is
on,
dry
say
saying all
something
this
serious
shit,
now.
man.
Go.
No, so that's it, man. I
Yeah.
switched to your screen, but yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's what we're seeing right now, guys. You gotta keep that in mind. You don't see it a lot. It's not being really talked about a lot. You really gotta, I guess, dig to find all these different countries doing whatever, but obviously different interests, different use cases, and there's a growing demand. That's why they're adding all that security. They want to have Bitcoin ETF on New York Stock Exchange. They already passed that on the Brazilian Stock Exchange because they want security. There's a huge demand. We don't want to go through Binance. We want, we want to give investors and people with all this growing demand, a bit of security, something a bit more regulated where they're not, going to get scammed or rug pulled or whatever the case might be. So they want that. A lot of people are asking for it. They try to ban it. It's not really working out. People do want to be a part of this, and they're providing that, regulated, secure, and more accountable and compliant. And that's what we're seeing across all these different across the globe, and that's what's happening. Some people are taking the technology. Some countries are banning it and having their own digital currencies. But overall, the push that we're seeing is towards a digital monetary system, and we're seeing that play out recently. The past month that's been going on, and you need to know what's happening there. So is Bitcoin gonna still go down to whatever it could be, but you can't deny the fact that there's a huge push for Bitcoin adoption, and you can't deny the fact that country is just a huge dominoes effect right now, that everyone's racing towards it, and it's whoever gets there first is definitely going to have some sort of a edge, some sort of an advantage, and you should know about it. So that's all I'm saying here, man.
And what really drives price action here at the end of the day? Why is it that we're in a space where things can 5x, 10x, 100x? It's because of technological advancement, adoption, and greater use case. And if we zoom out and look at the long-term picture, we constantly see more countries adopting, more corporations adopting, more banking institutions adopting and utilizing this technology. And again, I think this all paints a picture of us still being in very, very early days. This space is still trying to figure out its regulation. Adoption has only just begun. And so again, I just goes back to my point. Like I keep trying to say every live stream, which is we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of this trade. It's just the investment time horizon that's unclear. Will it take 3 months to be right, 6 months to be right, 3 years to be right? I don't know. But at the end of the day, the more time goes on, the more likely we are to be right that this space is just beginning to grow. Plenty of more upside potential over long term. But again, like you said, in the short term, no guarantee that we're going to go up, right? And so
100%.
also just kind of second what you're saying, Andreessen Horowitz, a very big known player in the crypto investing space, recently raised $2.2 billion and hired a former SEC chairman to head this investment fund to kind of invest in different cryptocurrencies. So again, guys, I think this story just brings home a greater point, which is the direction of adoption is clear. Every single day, we bring you guys new stories of this bank exploring adopting blockchain technology, this country adopting exploring blockchain technology, this investment fund adopting and exploring blockchain technology. And every day it's one more and one more and one more and one more. And sure, in the short term, who knows, 3 months, 3 years, we could fall, but eventually that macro adoption is going to catch up to price action, and markets can erect can act can erect can
What?
act irrationally for a very, very long time, longer than you can remain solvent. A market can
What?
act
Yo, are you okay,
irrationally.
man?
It's very early. It's very early in the day, man. You got me waking up in the middle of the night,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm still waking up.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel you. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
yeah, no. So that's honestly what I have to say in terms of that news story. The only thing I would add is maybe if we can bring it back to price action real quick.
Hmm.
Is I do think in the short term, even though we're seeing a little bit of bullish divergence, I am worried about Bitcoin, and I'm actually not too confident about it right now. Looking at the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour chart's actually not that bad. MACD is still going up, weighted MACD curving up, RSI higher highs, higher lows. Stochastic RSI doesn't even want to go down, bullish crossover in the overbought territory. So look, I mean, if we're looking at our indicators in lower time frames, they're not bad. They're actually bullish. Even the 2 hours bullish. The one thing that concerns me about Bitcoin is that we're right up against resistance and we're getting decreasing volume.
Hmm.
And that's pretty concerning. This decreasing volume is the only thing holding us back right now because we're right up against that resistance. If we can break 34K and get a spike in buy volume, oof, that's very bullish. So ultimately, I don't know if you agree with me or how much
Hmm.
more you want to hover on the price action, but I do think this decreasing volume is probably the most worrying thing in the short term, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. That's what we need to see. We see some, we see the retest on the lower time frame, but then again, we gotta understand we've seen breakouts on a shorter time frame for Bitcoin. For example, if even we zoom out a bit, same thing, man. We had a breakout to the bottom, and then right away got back to these higher time frames. Sorry, like higher price action. Then we were stuck in this wedge where we had it. We broke below it. It's a bearish pattern. We broke below, and right away within a day, we actually got back inside of it, broke again, got back inside of it, and actually broke above it. Got rejected off the 40K again. Then kept, so the market is polarized, but again, is this another opportunity? Are buyers gonna push again one more time towards the 40K? This is what we're trying to see on a lower time frame, because at the end of the day, look, man, we're not trying to predict the market, but you can forecast it. Like you can see, like, is this team gonna win? Are they actually going to score this game? We don't know, but they have, they changed their coach. They have a new player in the market, whatever the case might be. We have more factors in the market right now that are bullish. We've been dealing with negative news. We have more factors in the market right now for the crypto space that are bullish. So again, are they going to take another jab at these higher time frames? Is this small breakout on a shorter time frame that happened within the past, like, couple of days, is this enough to signal to the market that buyers should come in? We see another signal over here, a nice hammer candle. We peaked through the 30K for the first time, which is concerning, but then again, we see a lot of whales accumulating. So is that gonna push us back upwards? It could, and we will always find those breakouts, no matter how much you actually, you can draw so many lines, so many resistances, and call it a breakout. But to me, on a shorter time frame, this resistance have been here for 9 days, since June 15th. We peaked at the 40, and then we actually went down. We told people here that we are to go down. We said it over here that we are to go down. We had a breakout. If this level over here does not hold, then we're most likely going to continue to go down. And this is, we saw a bit of push from the buyers here. Not enough. Came back down. Is this enough? Are lower price levels more attractive for these buyers? We don't know that, but it could be good. So let's just see if that actually plays out. That's I guess the main theme of this live stream.
Yeah, and I would also just add that, look, I'm a bull. I want to be bullish, but I also want to be very clear and honest with you guys that right now, even though we're having a bit of a recovery in the short term, Bitcoin is still in a bearish trend. We are still macro bearish. Ever since April, we have still done nothing but put in lower highs and lower lows and break through critical support, and that has not changed yet. Bitcoin is still in a bearish trend. So while we're having a bit of a recovery now, I wouldn't be too certain of this thing continuing because we still have not gotten confirmation of a shift of this macro downtrend. Folks, look, for us to be confident of Bitcoin again in the bull run continuing, we need to break this bearish structure of lower highs and lower lows. And we still have not done that yet. And so for us to start being more confident about Bitcoin, we need to start doing a few things here, which I'll now briefly describe. We first need to get above this volume VPVR point of control here at about 37,000, 36,700, around this region, basically this VPVR. Then we need to get above this 200 daily moving average right here, this blue line, constantly where we got rejected off during our relief rallies. So if we broke above this thing, came back down and retested it bullishly and held it as support, that would be extremely bullish. And in that case, I would start to get a little bit more confident of the bull run continuing, because look, that's exactly where we got rejected all throughout a relief rally. So until we do that, until we break the bearish price structure by getting above this 200 EMA on the daily and then coming back down to retest and hold it, get 1 or 2 daily candles fully closing above this thing, until we do something like that, we are still in a macro bear trend, a macro downtrend. And until we see actual evidence of a flippening, of a breaking of the downtrend, we are still in that downtrend. So that's why right now, honestly, folks, like if you guys have been watching the channel, you know how bullish I am, you know how much I love to buy the dips. But because we put it in a lower level of 30,000, I'm honestly not going to be looking to buy a whole lot in this market until we get back above 41,000. Get back above that 200 daily EMA, get back above this white line, that 50 daily SMA, and then get daily candles fully closing above it. And only in that case would I be confident of the bull market having a chance of continuing, because only at that point would we have broken the bearish price structure. And until we break that bearish price structure by putting in a higher high and flipping resistance into support, we are still in a downtrend, and therefore still it's likelier than not that we could have a further bearish continuation at some point in the near future.
100%.
So, yeah, I know it was a bit of a rant there, but do you have anything you want to add there?
No, man, no, I agree with you 100%. I just see some comments here. All it takes, Buffalo and the B. If you continue with this negativity here, man, if you're saying it's gonna go back under 30K, man, I know you. We know where you live. We're gonna come for you, man. All it takes is one whale for it to sell, to collapse, one last dip, hashtag under 30K. Yeah, man, I guess a lot of people. I'm joking, by the way, man. A lot of people are actually expecting another dip as well. Extremely polarized market. Let us know, guys. Let us know in the chats if you're more bullish today, you're more bearish. You know, we've been putting a lot of these polls recently. It's interesting how things are playing out. You know, even with the huge dip that we were having, you know, almost a month ago, everyone was actually, I guess, our audience, right? And we have almost like 3K votes, 2K votes, 5K votes. So I guess, you know, just a bit of a sentiment. But even, you know, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, almost 65 to 60% of our viewers were more bullish on Bitcoin's price action. 1 week ago, same thing, 60%, 32%. 5 days ago, you know, when we had that fake out, when we dropped to the bottom, everyone was more bearish, man. 50% of the audience was actually more bearish. Yeah, 3 days ago, again, more bearish. Yesterday, a bit bullish. And actually, yesterday, a bit more bullish too. Yeah, so right now we're seeing what's gonna happen. Right now we have 82 votes, more crash incoming. People are voting on that. So yeah, I guess, man, I guess our audience is actually looking for some sort of I guess dip, but we want to see how that plays out, you know.
I mean, it makes sense, man. Even in the short term, we're putting in lower lows, we're putting in lower highs. Like it's really nice to see this recovery, and I hope the bulls just take it and how we have a V-shaped, U-shaped recovery. But at this point, based off technical analysis, we've had nothing but bearish confirmation, and we still have not gotten that bullish confirmation. So until we do, I think what's been happening will continue until we see evidence of that actually changing. We haven't seen that yet.
100%, man. Hondo P. So yeah, man, I guess that's what we wanted to share on Bitcoin and some news out there. What else you got? You got something?
The final thing I would say in terms of Bitcoin's price structure is, okay, so I've said what it would take for us to be bullish. We got to flip. We got to get daily candles closing above these EMAs that have been acting as resistance. We got to put in those higher highs. That would lead me to be more confident of the bull market continuing. And what it would take for me to be more bearish would be a daily candle closing below 30,000, closing below this wick here. Because we can see how we put in a lower low by wicking below 30,000 and seeming like we're breaking down from our head and shoulders. But it got back up, bought back up. So if we get a daily candle fully closing below 30, at that point, I mean, correcting to 24,000 and 20,000 is extremely realistic if we have a daily candle close below $30,000.
100%. And man, look,
Yeah.
a lot of people are talking about the Wyckoff. Is that what it's called? The Wyckoff
Yeah.
distribution. Do you know anything about that at all? Do you have anything pulled up that show the people? Because a lot of people are actually thought I've been seeing it, I guess, gain a lot of traction ever since someone had made a video about it, got like 3 point some million views. I guess, that's what hopium does. I guess that's what, addiction to bullish news does. But people are looking at that recently a lot, and apparently it's been really following the price action. Let us know, guys, in the chats if you've been looking at that. I see there 8,002 saying you're bearish, but what if this is what if this was a Wyckoff spring? I guess they have some sort of seasons. Are they looking at the moon and sun cycles here? What are we looking at, man?
Actually, you say that ironically, but a lot of
I'm
people
not.
actually are. So
I'm not joking, man.
So, look, I'm no Wyckoff expert, but I do believe I understand the argument, which is, I'm trying to find like a good chart here. But basically, the thing about Wyckoff accumulation, and I found one chart here, but it's extremely small. I don't know if you guys can see this, but bottom line is here, the way Wyckoff accumulation works before an uptrend continues is that there's usually one lower low below support, one final sell-off to shake out the weak hands, and then we have something of a V-shaped or U-shaped recovery after the final sell-off, after the lower low. So that's kind of what we happened here. So we had kind of one lower low below kind of the base that we were forming previously, one final sell-off to shake out the weak hands. And so according to Wyckoff accumulation, we could anticipate something of a V-shaped or U-shaped recovery at some point here. So I think for the Wyckoff to be invalid, it would mean that we would put in a lower low. If we put in a lower low now, the Wyckoff accumulation may be invalid, or at least not applicable here, or at least it's being drawn wrong. But yeah, to my best understanding, that's essentially what it is, where we put in one lower low before the final recovery. And from what I understand, yeah, this does seem to be the best argument for Bitcoin recovery, because at this point, there's nothing but bearish confirmation, lower lows, lower highs, rejection of rallies. This is kind of like the last stand, last piece of hope for Bitcoin, in my opinion.
I see. So guys, let us know, man. Do you guys follow this? How much do you give the Wyckoff distribution? I guess how much
Accumulation.
Wyckoff accumulation.
Accumulation, yeah.
Whatever.
Accumulation is before it goes up. Distribution is before it goes down.
I see. Yeah, we don't claim to be any experts in it. I see a lot of people talking about it. So let us know if that's something you give a bit of validity to, and we'll see. So yeah, Blacklist Techno saying big dump incoming. Daniel's saying, LOL, I saw the headline and just came here to mock Moon Boys. Please do. There's a rug pull on Bitcoin happening, apparently. That's what Daniel is saying. So I guess you're the expert, man. We'll just shut down this whole operation and pack our bags, listen to Daniel D. Take out all of the billions we'll have and Bitcoin, man.
Is Satoshi gonna rug pull Bitcoin?
I guess he is. I guess he is. Ben is saying I don't really give it too much credit. I guess, I don't really know much about it, so we can't really I guess comment on it much. It's just an interesting thing that we've been seeing people talk about here. But yeah, man, I guess that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. I don't know what else we can talk about here. If there's anything specific you guys want to talk about, make sure you smash that like button.
100% smash that like button, folks. If you like us, you like what we do, you want to support us, if you want to hear more of this valuable content where we break down the most critical levels for Bitcoin, you gotta like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon notified of new uploads as well. Man, if you're okay with this, I'd like to take a second here to talk about some off chart factors that are affecting Bitcoin, at least in my opinion. And so I think something very important to consider here is the DXY, the dollar index, because this typically has an inverse correlation with Bitcoin. Whenever the dollar rises, Bitcoin typically suffers. Whenever the dollar falls, Bitcoin typically benefits. And so we're at a very, very critical point right now because the dollar index has been impulsing the last couple days here, but we're right up against resistance here. And if we see bullish divergence, this could be the thing that really tips Bitcoin over to the negative side. Because if we put in a higher high, come back down, reach this as support, then the upside potential is quite substantial. And when Bitcoin is kind of like deciding the next major move for the next couple months here, when it's at this inflection point, any one of these factors could be the tipping point. So we really don't want to see the DXY get too much higher here. If we see higher highs here in the DXY, if we see the DXY, the dollar continue to pump, that could be the factor that leads Bitcoin to really tip to the negative side. As well, the stock market, pretty relevant right now, because if the stock market does bad, it typically dries up investor liquidity, negatively affects sentiment. And so we don't want to see the stock market crash. And we have some reasons to think that the stock market's weak because we're putting in higher highs in price action, but lower highs in RSI. Classic bearish divergence, exactly what we saw in Bitcoin before the major crash. We saw higher highs in price action, lower highs in RSI, price crash, and we're seeing the same thing with the stock market. So fortunately, the stock market is doing well today. QQQ tracking the Nasdaq is doing well. The SPY tracking the S&P 500 doing well on the daily. So this is a good sign to see that the stock market isn't completely collapsing. But if we do see a substantial correction in the stock market, that could be the factor that really helps to tip Bitcoin over to the negative side.
Yeah, man, and that's what's been happening. We see a lot of money being printed today. We see overall, holy man, the chat is extremely bearish, which is probably the first thing, first time I ever see some majority of our audience, I guess, is more bearish on Bitcoin's price action, man. But yeah, that's what we see. That recently here we're seeing a lot of talks about higher interest rates in the market, and we know that the stock market, reacts more to these kind of talks. Hyperinflation, a lot of money is being printed. The dollar is actually losing its strength. It's been compared to all these other currencies out there, and that's what it is. Bitcoin is definitely following suit, and the main thing everyone's talking about is Bitcoin going to be the new digital gold. Because even if you're putting, apparently, there's a lot of debate out there, but if you're putting your money in gold, you're actually still at risk of not really hedging against inflation and against the dollar actually losing its value. So there's also those kind of talks, and right now the stock market is actually too high, and everyone, with all the talks from the Federal Reserve, talking about interest rates being higher soon enough here in 2022. I believe that's what they said initially, 2023. Then they switched to 2022, a bit more of an aggressive outlook on it. And you'll see that the stock market usually reacts quicker to that, as opposed to, seeing the effect of those higher interest rates on the actual market and the economy itself. Stock market usually starts to deviate away to bonds and to gold and whatever, precious metals are out there. There's a lot of talks about, gold not really doing its job well, I guess. So what's the next big thing? What's going to happen here? How are we going to save and hedge against this hyperinflation and the effect on all these billions, we have in our bank? I know I got a couple billion in the bank, It's like every other YouTuber, man. Every other YouTuber
Right.
is making billions, right? Off of crypto.
100%.
So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So this is we're seeing some sort of revolution in the monetary system, digital revolution, and we want to see how countries react to that. We're seeing, early effects of that. We're seeing how they're reacting to it, and China doesn't like it much, likes the digital technology, the digital blockchain, but applied, or it going in tandem with their own currency. And we just haven't really seen the same kind of aggressive approach from the U.S., from the West, and they've been kind of not fully banning crypto, talking about digital currency still, but we need to see how that plays out. Facebook got in a couple months ago. There's more news that came out with Facebook, having their own digital, their own stable coin, pegged to the dollar. After in 2019 or 2018, the government said, yeah, no, we're good. You're not doing none of that. And they were based off of Switzerland. Now they switched back to the US, and they're pushing more and more into it. So someone got paid to pass this, and have the government kind of look at it from a more lenient point of view. A lot of people, a lot of government officials have problems with Facebook's privacy and data collection, strategies, and how they hoard all this. They try to centralize all this data collection. Are they going to do the same with crypto? We don't know, but for a fact these big players are coming. And it's just a matter of where you want to be here, sitting in the market, man. So, yes, sir. What are you doing, man?
No, nothing. I agree. I agree. No. So, yeah, no, I agree. All points all around. Agreed upon. Yes. Again, man, like this all goes back to the same point. Adoption, adoption, adoption. It's just starting every day. We're seeing more countries, more companies, more investment funds get into Bitcoin, get into crypto. So eventually, that's going to catch up to price action. Again, we don't know when that could be. Could be 3 months, could be 3 years. We don't know, right?
Who the
So,
hell do you think you are, man? Why are you talking like you know what you're talking about?
how? What did you
Why are you
say?
acting like why are you acting like you know what you're talking about, man?
Did you say how old do you think I am?
No, who do you think you are?
Oh, who do I think I am?
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude, just like anyone else who follows this market and kind of enjoys talking about things, kind of knows his shit.
Right.
That's really just it, man.
Right.
Guys, nobody knows anything for sure, but we follow these markets all day, every day, and we've been doing it for the last 37 years. So, I mean, we've been around the block, and we know a thing or two. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Sure.
that's what I'd
Thanks
say.
for saying nothing here, man. Can I share something real quick here?
Well, you asked me a stupid question. Go
Whatever.
ahead.
Sure. So, yesterday, one of China's largest internet companies entered the NFT field. Who is that? Alipay. Alipay, one of the largest payment providers in China, has announced the launch of a platform for the sale of non-fungible tokens. So another thing here to shine the light on, just to show you what kind of quote unquote, this is the most used word on crypto YouTube out there. I don't like to call it manipulation. It's just standard. That's what people usually do. That's a big part of negotiation when you try to show, you want this house, you want to buy this product or whatever the case might be, but you're not going to be like, oh my god, I love it so much, here, I'll give you, no, you want to act, hard to get. You want to act like the product is not really that great so you can get some sort of a deal. And that's what it is. I don't call it manipulation. It's just the standard act, the standard strategy to buy things when they're low. But overall, if you guys were here, we have 184 viewers. Make sure you smash that like button because we're gonna share, more and more news here with you. And I know Brendan is annoying. I know all of these things, so make sure you actually
Bro, you're
bear with
you're
us, sir.
you're in a mood this morning, huh?
What the hell?
I'm sorry. This all stems from me forgetting you mentioned a story, and
100%. I'm taking that personal.
honestly, my bad. I will try my very best to remember every single news story you ever mentioned, and I
Yeah,
promise not to forget any because you're
yeah,
in a very salty mood,
yeah,
my guy.
yeah.
Very salty mood.
Very good point here, man. So,
You
anyways,
could run a marathon and not have to drink any water. You're so salty.
let me speak, goddammit. So, one of China's largest internet companies entered the NFT field, right? So, Alipay, one of the largest payment providers in China, has announced the launch of a platform for the sale of non-fungible tokens, right? And that's what you got to keep in mind here. A couple of days ago, not this one, where is it at? Not this one. Where did it go? I had it. There we go. Banks fall in line as China's central bank cracks down on crypto accounts. So, China gathered all these different banks. Ag Bank, which is the world's third largest bank by asset, has indicated that it will follow the queue and work to stamp out its clients' crypto-related activities. So the Agricultural Bank of Canada, the world's largest bank, is set to implement Beijing's firm anti-cryptocurrency measures and rigorously vet its clients to ensure that they're not engaged in any form of illegal activities involving crypto transacting, trading, or mining. And they're saying is, they put out a statement followed by the institutions meeting with the People's Bank of China, which convened major domestic banks and mobile payment services, Alipay, and ordered them to ensure that banking and settlement services are denied to clients engaged in crypto-related transactions. An official People's Bank of China statement today reiterated that all banks and payment institutions must not provide account opening or registration for virtual currency related activities. So now, in addition to all of that, they all sat down together. And the government came in and was like, hey, you better listen to what I'm saying here. Otherwise we got problems. They're saying in addition to Agricultural Bank, the Industrial Bank and the Commercial Bank of China was also there, the Construction Bank of China, Postal Savings Bank of China, and the Industrial Bank, alongside with who, man? Ask me who.
Who?
Alipay. Right? Alipay. We're all
Who?
present. I just said it. Alipay, man. We're all present at the People's Bank of China meeting, but look what happened. No crypto. None of that stuff. None of that fun stuff the All Moon boys love. What happened here next day? Alipay enters the NFT fee. Matthew Graham, the CEO of Sino Global Capital, took to Twitter to share the news and share his purchase using Renminbi, whatever. The CEO noted, amazing hand to God, this is true. Alipay really did just roll out a new feature where you can buy NFTs in app, the biggest online payment, I guess corporation in China. The new feature allowed users to buy NFTs within the application was considered an ironic announcement. Why? As the Chinese authorities were taking stringent steps to prevent cryptocurrency transaction in the country. So what the hell is going on, man? What's going on? We're banning it from one side, but we're actually entering the market from another side. What is that telling you, right? What is that
They
telling
like the technology, but they want the control.
Again, they're pushing for it. They know it's powerful. They know what kind of profit there are, and with governments that do like to track. Citizens, this is a big thing. This is a big thing, man. They're in. Big players are in. Big central banks are in. Big countries are in. They're pushing for it. They know the use case and all. Stop laughing before I. Anyway, so yeah, that's it, man. Sorry for ranting here, guys.
No, all good. Your favorite country's in too, So.
Wow.
Yeah, man, no. Yeah, no. So look, I think you're right. Look, again, man, like saying the same thing. Adoption is just beginning. China is adopting this technology, but they're building out the use case internally for themselves. And look, man, I think what's going to be very, very interesting over the next 5 years is I think it's going to be very interesting to see how countries and corporations either adopt existing blockchain infrastructure or build out its use case internally for themselves. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very interesting to see because, again, we're seeing Israel, they're settling transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. But some other countries might want to build out that technology internally for themselves. So, again, this is it's going to be super, super interesting to see on what side people fall. Will they build out the infrastructure internally themselves, countries, or will they use the existing infrastructure? It's going to be very interesting. Like, for example, this is why I'm so dubious over XRP. Because look, XRP essentially it's supposed to settle cross-border payments for banks, and it's a publicly available ledger where everyone can see what's going on. But banks are building out that use case internally for themselves. And so they see the potential of that. They see the technology, the use case. And people are bullish on XRP. They see that as well. That's why they like XRP. But I think what a lot of XRP holders are failing to understand, or maybe not, but I think one criticism I would give to XRP holders is, yes, the use case is great. But what if these banks just build out that use case internally for themselves? And that's exactly what we're seeing. So what I'm trying to get at here is a greater point, which is we're at the point of adoption. And so it's going to be super interesting to see, are all these countries going to start using Ethereum, selling things on Ethereum? Or are they going to build out all this, internal blockchain infrastructure for themselves and just have, private blockchains between corporations, companies, banks? It's going to be very interesting to see how that hashes out.
Yeah, don't ever talk about XRP like that. You watch your mouth when you talk about XRP. Man.
Are you like a secret XRP like hodler? Do you?
No,
are you hodling XRPs that way?
I just think they got a good product, and you're just jealous that you actually don't have none of it. That's what it is.
Guys, look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you XRP guys go to the goddamn moon. I hope it goes to $100. I just don't think so.
XRP army.
I hope you guys are right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope so.
But you're right, man. That's what it is. So they have a good technology, good, settlement system. I guess they were pushing for cross-border payment settlement. Is that gonna be used? We don't know. But that's what they're pushing for. Are they at the forefront of the government trying to get regulation clarity, trying to push through? I think what's going to happen with XRP is definitely going to reflect on the whole crypto market, and they're just painting a picture of what the SEC actually thinks about crypto. And the more we see more wins with the XRP, you should be thankful. You should be thankful for what XRP is doing, man. XRP is pushing for all of us, man. They're the leaders of the.
I like the technology. I just. I'm not a giant fan of the team, and the fundamentals are rather dubious. But
yeah.
Cool technology. I like it.
But
Yeah.
that's what they're pushing for, man. So let's see how that plays out. And I agree with there's 100% some sort of risk associated, especially when you look at other altcoins that could play a bigger role and have more and more returns on the market. Let's see if that plays out. But anyways, we'll see how it plays how wow, I'm stuttering too. Anyways,
Also, just to finish off on XRP, like my thing with XRP is there's thousands of options to invest in cryptocurrency. I don't think there's any need to kind of compromise on your standards. And look, again, maybe I'm hating too much because I did like XRP a lot in the past. I owned XRP in the past, but I don't know, man. Just like the more I think about it, the more it's like I have thousands of options. XRP is rather dubious. There's things with better fighting potential, better long-term staying power, in my subjective opinion. So I don't know. There's enough reasons to think XRP is a bit substandard that I don't feel like it's necessary to place a bet on it when there's similar things that could have similar ROI potential.
yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. Look, man, we have 155 viewers watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. I guess we talked for a good like hour and a bit here. Just about Bitcoin. If there's anything specific, any any charts you want us to take a look at, let us know. Any questions you have for us, let us know as well. And yeah, man, I feel like I actually said everything in for the day. Overall, make sure you stay tuned. You subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, man, let us know whatever you guys want us to take a look at. Is there anything interesting you want to take a look at?
Are you okay with taking a look at some altcoins here? Like I saw
Let's
someone
do it.
mention BNB. Maybe we can talk about Ethereum. I think Ethereum's at a
Let's do
super
that. Let's do
critical
it.
place right now. Okay, so maybe Ethereum since I have it pulled up.
Yeah, let's do Ethereum.
Okay. So, guys, look, I want to talk about Ethereum because I do think it's at a super, super, super critical point right now. Like we're in this super tight range, and whatever way we break out of this range could really, really decide the future for Ethereum for the next couple of weeks, if not months. Because right now we're stuck in between the 200 EMA on the daily acting as resistance and the 200 simple moving average SMA on the daily acting as support. And we're right in between it, right stuck in this range between like 1890 and 1980, like this very tight range. 3 daily candles fully reacting off this range, strong resistance above us, strong support below us. And so whatever way we definitively break out of this range, I think we're likely to move in that direction for quite some time. And so I think the market right now is super indecisive, and we're in the midst of deciding what the next direction is. And if we can get a daily candle closing above $1,990, $2,000, very good sign that we could probably see maybe a bit of a relief rally. If we start to break down below 800, 1880, we get a daily candle close below that, the downside potential is pretty substantial. I mean, like we could drop to 1700, we could drop to 1400, we could drop even lower. So this is super, super, super critical make it or break it territory for Ethereum. And again, if we get that daily candle close below 1880, it's a very bad sign for Ethereum and a very bad sign for altcoins because ETH is kind of like a leading indicator of the altcoin market. A healthy Ethereum means a healthy altcoin market. An unhealthy Ethereum means an unhealthy altcoin market.
100%.
So, yeah, do you agree with anything there or
I do agree,
disagree?
man. And I think today we didn't really fully look at Ethereum, but I saw some news out there, which I actually have open right now. So, guys, sorry if I'm butchering this, but came out today about what do we have? So, Ethereum's London fork is one of the most anticipated updates. Sure. We know all of that. Overall, Robston becomes the first Ethereum's ETH test network to support much anticipated London hard fork. So they are pushing. This was today, according to the Twitter post by Ethereum core developer Tim BREAKOUT today, January 24th. At this block height, London hard fork was activated on the Robson test network. So pretty good advancement. And overall, if you don't know what EIP 1559, I guess we'll quick, London hard fork includes 5 Ethereum improvement proposals, EIPs, while EIP 1559 is the most crucial one. It introduces dynamic fee structure and implements periodical fee burning, so just making, I guess, Ethereum deflationary and more security, added, and less fees, basically. Thus, with EIP 1559 activated, Ethereum becomes the deflationary asset for the first time in its history. Some analysts treat this as a bullish catalyst for Ethereum's price. However, as Ethereum gas fees will be reduced for users, some Ethereum miners have opposed this hard fork for years, obviously because it's a bit more money. But then again, we're looking at scalability for Ethereum. We're looking at more, security layers added on top, and with what's it called, with Matic as well, acting as some sort of a second layer scaling solutions where a lot of those protocols will have the ability to choose a more of a secure system, and sacrifice a bit on gas fees, or focus more on lower gas fees, but a bit sacrifice on, for example, transaction speed. So it's giving them that flexibility, and they can definitely use Matic to actually migrate to that Ethereum. So just to kind of deviate away from the Ethereum virtual machine and lessen that overall pressure on the network itself. So right now we're sitting 1,984. We are extremely on the bottom. We broke below this wedge here that we're looking at on the hourly. We've been all the way down. We got to this final support level for Ethereum that if we actually do break, then we're looking for lower and lower prices 100%. But then again, same thing, same exact price action with Bitcoin. It's been going down, had a bit of a breakout on lower time frames, and we saw some buys try to step in. Again, for Ethereum, is the same thing going to happen? I don't really see a a short-term breakout, I guess. Yet we're still in that downtrend. I don't know, people would be looking at it something like this. For example, if we're looking at the hourly, maybe if I expand it a bit, you're seeing here resistance again ever since June 15th. Just how Bitcoin has been moving since June 15th. Here we have this well-established resistance that we just broke out of, as Ethereum is acting the same way. With this news today, are we gonna have some buyers try to jump in on this thing? Ethereum is at 1,900 after being up all the way at was it like 500, I guess, or something like that. Yeah, so it's definitely at a discount with all these developments, and then a bunch of these, not a bunch, I guess we got some from Israel right now testing their digital currency on the Ethereum network. Ethereum right now is at 60% discount. So what do you want to do? That's the thing. That's the main question. Are you willing to take that risk in the market or no? What do you think of all this news with Ethereum developing? It's been pushing. Everyone's been waiting for some sort of scalability solution, faster transactions and all that. DeFi has been holding Ethereum on its back for a bit. Is it going to continue to do so? I'm not sure, but all we can say is we're 60% down. It is 100% at a discount, and we're at a very critical level. So proceed with caution.
Yeah. No, look, no, I believe in this thing long term. But with that being said, what do we need to look out for us to start being bullish? Again, we're in this super critical tight range with these high time frame moving averages. So for me to start being bullish on ETH, we need to start closing above this 200 daily moving average, which, by the way, we're testing right now as we speak. As we speak, we're trying to get above this thing. But we can see how we did that before. And we actually retested and held it for a bit, but fell back below. But this is on the 2 hour. If we go to the daily, we still have not had a daily candle close above this thing. So again, for me, start feeling bullish. I want a candle body, a complete daily candle body, fully closing above this line. So if we get something like this, that wick here, at that point, I would start feeling bullish about ETH. Do you like my drawing there?
What the hell is that?
This is supposed to be a candle body, and that's supposed to be a wick. That's supposed to be a 200 minute. Yeah. Look, folks, bottom line is, folks, like, again, we need to get a daily candle close above that thing. If not, we're still very bearish.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. Anything more for on Ethereum here?
I mean, another positive sign, this light green line here. This is the 21 EMA on the 6 hour. Very good. In fact, in my opinion, the best moving average to call short-term price action. So whenever we're above this thing, we're bullish. Whenever we're below this thing, we're bearish. So if we can flip that 200 EMA and get above this thing and get above 2100, 2080, and start holding that, a good sign. So if we can get above that EMA there and hold this, get daily candles closing above this thing, in that case, we would be short-term bullish, in my opinion. So that
100%.
would be an extra layer of bullish confirmation as well. Last thing I would add here with ETH, and I know you'll appreciate this, which
Go ahead.
is we called the downtrend with Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm gonna be honest here. We didn't. I did not expect us to fall this hard, for the downtrend to be for us to crash to this extent. But we were both saying for weeks how we thought Ethereum was extremely overextended and how we should expect a correction and downtrend. And look, we expected, personally speaking, or I'll speak for myself here, I expected something like a 20-30% correction. I didn't expect, something like this. But I mean, then again, we were saying for quite a while, folks, we were saying, I expected like a 30% correction, not a 60% correction. But we were saying over here in these regions for weeks, we were not buying Ethereum. We were waiting. We thought Ethereum was extremely overextended and that we were expecting a correction. Again, we didn't expect the extent of this correction, but we were anticipating one just because we were extremely overextended. And again, same thing with Bitcoin. As soon as we broke this 50 daily SMA, this white line here, I was saying I was concerned about Bitcoin. I was beginning to get worried about Bitcoin. And, I did not anticipate this 50-60% correction. But we were seeing for a while, we were worried, we were concerned about the downside potential. And again, folks, again, moving forward, I think we should be prepared for worst case, not just best case. Because looking back here, I'll speak for myself again here. I think I was prepared for kind of best case scenario, bull market continuing with roughly 30% corrections. But I wasn't, as prepared for this kind of 50% correction,
Right.
with the bear market potentially ending here. So moving forward, folks, once we start breaking these critical EMAs, it's a really, really strong sign that the uptrend is ending.
100%, man. And yes, and people were making fun of us. People were actually making fun of us, which is something I didn't appreciate. We did go cry in the corner, me and Brendan. We did, all of the billions we made in the crypto, just bought a lot of tissue paper just to cry it out, because when we're bearish, people didn't accept it, saying, stop spreading FUD or whatever the case might be. And when everything is down, people would ask, when Ethereum is at the 4,000 a bit, is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time? We're saying, it's too much on the high. Go back on these previous days where we talked about Ethereum, saying, be aware, it's on the thumbnails, this is going to go down. And but now when things are 60% down, I guess it's people are not interested, in looking at it. This is 60% down, man. 60% down. So something to keep in mind here, guys. And we need to keep that in mind, man. But then again, we need to see how that plays out. We need to understand, that the market sentiment plays a huge role. And we'll see how that goes, man. 100%. But we did call it, which I hate. I know. I don't like everyone YouTube style, exactly as we predicted, and this and that. People are getting liquidated. We were talking about in general about some sort of reversal coming in, and unfortunately it did happen. Now we're a bit more bullish, and let's see how that plays out. So let us know. Look, man, there's 187 people here, so let's just smash that like button if you like what we're talking about so far. This was Ethereum. Again, man, if you have anything else on Ethereum, we're good. I see some people here were commenting about Cardano. Overall, Ether's done. Cardano's times now. People are saying they want to buy it at 1,554. I'm buying some if it gets here for sure. One more green and we're going to the 43K. That's what Poma, I guess. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Cardano decoupling after Ether sooner or later. One more green is going to the up. Oh, that's all I'm saying. Man, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, do you want to talk about Cardano?
Talk about Cardano, yeah. I guess half
of
our people here are really into Cardano for sure.
Well, it's super interesting. Cardano is holding up surprisingly well. So, look, Cardano is doing a lot of concerning stuff here. We're losing multiple critical areas of support. $1.50 loss of support. $1.31 loss of support. This white trend line from this wick to this wick extended. Price reactive, even still lost as support. But we're getting back above these certain layers, but we're running up against this resistance trend line from all-time highs to next lower high here. So for me to start feeling bullish about Cardano, I want us to have daily candles fully closing above $1.30, $1.31. Very price reactive zone. Over here, it was resistance, resistance, resistance. Over here, support, and support over here. And if we go to the weekly, we can see why $1.31 specifically. Several weeks of reactivity off this range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks reacting exactly off $1.30, $1.31. So I think that's the inflection point. Man, looking at this weekly, which closes in 3 days, 9 hours. If we close right where we're at right now, if we close above $1.31, it's actually very, very bullish. Look at that stupidly long wick to the downside. The crash got completely rejected. If in the next 3 days, 9 hours, we close above $1.31. So maintaining above $1.31 is critical, absolutely critical. And we're up against resistance right now. So again, just to clarify, for me to be bullish, I want to see two daily candles fully above $1.31. And at that point, I can start to feel a little bit more confident about buying back into Cardano.
100%, man. And we're looking here, we're looking at daily. We'll see that volume has been really not the greatest, but then again, you'll see on June 22nd, we had a very, this is just a battle. This candle right here is showing you the battle that happened between the buyers and the sellers. We're seeing that sellers try to push it all the way back down to the dollar, and a lot of people, I guess, accumulated there, pushed it back above. This is the 200 EMA on the daily. We're seeing here that even buyers tried to push it all the way above again. Sellers rejected the price action and actually pushed the price below the opening price. So there were a bit more sellers in the market, a bit more of a bearish sentiment, which we saw has been playing out since May 16th. Again, Cardano is one of those coins that actually held its level pretty well with the whole market dumping. Again, I think it was like 70% of Cardano's actually staked. And again, that's also playing out some sort of that's playing a huge factor as well. But then again, we're not seeing a drop back to the January levels. A lot of these different coins, specifically even Ethereum as well, actually went back down to levels where it was back in January. Except for Cardano. Cardano's still trying to hold solid above the dollar 20, 30 to 40. I guess that's where a lot of that accumulation has been happening. It was stuck in this range for a while, so we do see a lot of accumulation. Then again, you're right, man. Any drop below this accumulation level here is going to cause a lot more panic, I guess, in the market, and a lot more sell-off, specifically for the people that have been in it for a while. Right now, still comfy. For them, I guess it's not comfortable for the people that bought at the $1.50, for example. The people, the newbies, I guess, that came in May, beginning of May at that breakout, and saw Cardano starting to move really heavily, talking about Tesla, talking about the more and more as coming out with the I keep forgetting the name, with the Alonso hard fork, just paving the way for smart contracts to be implemented. And right now we're sandwiched between these two EMAs, between the 200 EMA on the daily and the 100 EMA on the daily. So between the $1.38 all the way down to the $1.09, where we're trying to get sandwiched right now. Obviously, we're gonna see a bit of resistance at this level over here, the $1.37. We want to see if buyers will come in. But then again, once we see those those candles over here, guys, and we always talk about the same thing, these candles like this indicate that we've been in a downtrend ever since May 16th. Since mid-May, we drop back to the bottom and we see something like this. This is a pretty clear indication. It's signaling to the whole market that, look, sellers tried to continue. The sellers must be exhausted at this point. We are really down. If we're taking a look at what percentage we're down, we actually went from all the way here, all the way back to the bottom. 60% movement to the bottom. How much selling will there be, right? How much selling do we have remaining in the market? And you'll see something like this after a continued long downtrend. Couple that with the fact that we got to this range over here. You'll see here on those days when when the whole market was actually crashing, see a lot of accumulation. On the daily, we dropped from the $2 all the way back down to the dollar, a whole drop. And we're seeing how we got to this. This is accumulation phase before the breakout we had over here at the $1.50, indicating that a lot of people want to accumulate at this level, especially knowing what Cardano is capable of, pushing at least to the dollar, $2.30, $2.40. And again, we're dropping at it right now, and we're seeing more accumulation happen, signaling to the whole market. You see the next day that we have a nice move. So again, majority of the market is following Bitcoin's price action. Cardano is the same thing, but over the past couple of months here, Cardano 100% did perform better than expected, and we're seeing a lot more accumulation than a lot of these different altcoins. So I guess the market has a bit more appetite for Cardano, but we want to see how much more selling will happen. Are there more sellers here, or are we just going to continue to accumulate? And the same question goes also for Bitcoin. So the Alonzo hard fork, they pushed more and more, I think, till August, just to fully deploy smart contracts. We'll see how that plays out, how the market reacts to it. A lot of developers, Cardano has been having those workshops for developers to properly build those decentralized apps on the Cardano network. So we want to see how that plays out, man.
Yo, you gotta stop screaming, man. The
sorry.
noise in this room is far too loud because you're just hitting these people
I
with
am.
critical important level after critical important level. So let me ask you, does it make sense to you that we have 100 and almost 200 people watching and only 70 likes?
I'm kind of, I'm sad.
Like, how many times can we like share the most critical information in the most relevant levels if you want to get some clarity on what's happening with Cardano before we get some likes, folks? Smash that like button. So look,
Maybe
man,
we're annoying, man. Maybe we're annoying.
could be it. But you know what? Regardless, we want to keep helping you guys out, perhaps get a greater understanding, or at least get a sense of some of the factors we consider, and hopefully you guys can become more confident investors yourself, and at least more confident in some of the factors people consider when it comes to doing technical analysis and understanding what the current state of the market is. So look, while I do think with Cardano, $1.31 is extremely important because of how price reactive it was. 9 weekly candles off that range, it's a clear inflection point. If we're above that, we're bullish. If we're below that, we're bearish. Now, with that being said, I think you brought up a really good point, which I want to reiterate and really kind of hammer home because I think this is very relevant. While $1.31 is very relevant, as we can see based off weekly candles, 9 weekly candles reacting off it, it is very interesting to note that every time we crash, all the major crashes, all the major dips with Cardano, it all got bought up at the exact same level, which is about $1.
Mm-hmm.
Market's telling us we really don't want Cardano dropping below $1. Every time we do, we see long wicks to the downside. It immediately gets bought back up. So there's a chance here that if we can't get daily candles closing above $1.31, we could probably come back down and retest this dollar range. And if we start to see daily candles close below $1, I think at that point, that's kind of the last stand. We would have lost all our critical support. We would have lost, and then the downside potential is pretty substantial. And look, there is not a lot of support until like 30 cents, 40 cents.
Oh, yeah.
So losing $1 means that 30 cents is very, very possible for Cardano. So in the short term, most critical levels, $1.31. Aside from that, buyers come in at $1. So if we lose this level, we're going to retest this dollar range, and hopefully buyers come in as it's happened historically. The market's really trying to hold up that dollar range. But if we lose that dollar range, which has been the base layer of support for Cardano, if we actually lose $1 and get daily candles closing below $1, the amount of time and consolidation and retests it would take to get back above, because this is such a clear base of support formed over months and months and months and months. I mean, it's theoretically possible that we'd have to do something similar just to retest this dollar range enough to get back above. Because if we break below this thing, man, the downside potential is substantial, and the likelihood of us immediately breaking back up is unlikely. So again, a daily candle close, not just a wick, but if we get daily candles close in this region, then we're probably going to retest, breakdown. We would need a lot of consolidation to build up the strength to get back above $1 again. So holding that dollar super critical. $1.31 and $1 are kind of the ranges Cardano needs to hold if we want it to be short-term bullish.
100%. Undo P, man. So yeah, that's I guess pretty much it here for Cardano, man. I see a bunch of people here. What are they saying? XRP is still in the lawsuit, right? They actually pushed. And the last thing we read here. I don't know if you saw, but we're talking about them gaining more time. Overall, the judge actually giving more time to both parties to actually get more documentation, whatever, from internationally of anyways, I don't even, we didn't really look much into it, but I'm pretty sure there's more and more news out there. HBAR is regulatory friendly. Can't say that about most projects. Ask yourself why Google, Boeing, DLA Piper, IBM, blah blah are still bullish on HBAR more than BTC, ETH, or any alts. What do we got here? Trust Wallet, LOL, done. Price will go up and down. Cardano 70% stake will stay. Goddamn, yeah, man, that's what it is. What else you want to take a look at here?
Well, again, we're going up against an hour and a half here, so if you want, maybe we can start to wrap it up in the near future here. Maybe we can take a look at maybe one or two last things here, maybe VeChain or something. What are you thinking?
Yeah, let's do that. And let us know, guys,
Yeah.
in the chats if there's anything you specific you want us to take a look at. I guess we just broke the 200 again. It's been really hard, I guess, having not more viewers. I guess just the live stream actually going to more and more people. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. Maybe we're boring. Maybe we don't really know on. Maybe it is, but I don't know, man.
Folks, look again, guys. If you like what we do, the easiest way to support us is to smash that like button. And we keep saying because the more likes we get, the more likely YouTube is to share the channel, share the videos, and more people can hear what's going on with these charts, and hopefully get a greater understanding of the factors we consider when really trying to get a sense of what the next major direction with the market is.
Yes, sir.
So
Let's go
smash that
VeChain.
like button. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to VeChain. So, do you want to go ahead or do you want me?
You can go ahead. I have it on your end.
Okay, so VeChain. VeChain is crashing, burning, fires. Horses are startled. And so for me, man, again, we're losing critical support level after critical support level. VeChain is bearish. We're losing the 200 EMA. We're losing the 200 SMA. So for me, it's extremely clear. The trend is nothing but down. So for us to start feeling bullish again, we need to break that price structure. We need to do something like this. So I can draw a trend line from kind of this peak here to this peak here. And so for VeChain to start being bullish again, we need to break above this level, come back down and retest it, hold it as support. We need to start getting above these EMAs. This 200 daily SMA and EMA here at kind of 9 cents 7 and 8 cents 6. Those are the two levels we need to get above in the short term, and this trend line for us to start being bullish. Lots of resistance here at around just under 10 cents to just about just below 9 cents. This whole range here between these two EMAs and this trend line, super strong resistance. So if VeChain can start holding 10 cents again, that's a very good sign. But ultimately for me, main takeaway is always the same, which is at the end of the day, this white line is my inflection point. This is the 200 EMA on the 6 hour, extremely price reactive, constantly the base of support for VeChain historically speaking. As soon as we drop below it, that was the beginning of the massive sell-off. So for me, this is kind of the first layer of short-term resistance that we need to get above. And kind of the second layer of bullish confirmation will be getting daily candles closing above this thing. And for me to start buying back into VeChain, start feeling bullish on VeChain, I want to see one or two daily candles fully close above this white line here. And once we do that, I'm confident that VeChain can go on 50 cents, 80 cents, $1 and beyond.
100%, man. I think again, we agree. I agree. Specifically with the price action, specifically with the 200 EMA, especially how every time we actually drop close to it, we do find that support at it. And again, since December, I guess end of last year is when we find that support at it before we actually pumped. Again, here, it is where that I guess investors in VeChain, not traders overall, been looking at it to enter. And if that does not hold as a support, which it didn't, then obviously yes, a huge inflection point where supply and demand usually, where a lot of supply is actually not supply, sorry, a lot of demand for VeChain around that level, around the level where this EMA, the 200 EMA, is sitting. So the fact that we didn't really see that happen here is pretty concerning. But then again, we understand what's happening in the whole crypto space. I'm not sure how much market cap do we have, we actually have today, and overall in crypto yesterday was at 1.3 trillion or 1.4 trillion. But yeah, so we need to see that happen. We know there's a lot of excitement about VeChain, and we also know probably majority of our audience loves VeChain too much. So right now, this is where VeChain is at. Again, we've been downtrending. we're down in terms of a drop here, or I guess depending whatever you want to call it, a sale. We went all the way down to the 6 cent region. 78% drop in terms of VeChain after it actually reached into the 27 cent. So we're just gonna sit and see how that plays out. Again, man, if you ever wanted to buy back onto VeChain, I guess not financial advice, but this is definitely a level that you need to keep in mind. And you don't want this EMA to be above you, or sorry, yeah, above you when you're buying into the market. I definitely don't want this if I'm bullish on VeChain. So we need to wait, see how Bitcoin's doing. You've been watching the live stream since the beginning. You saw the analysis we had about Bitcoin. VeChain is pending Bitcoin's price action. When Bitcoin starts to move VeChain, in my opinion, will definitely follow. But then again, even this EMA level will be a bit scary for a lot of buyers, and we definitely need to break above it. And that's currently sitting at the 9.6 cent. Or again, more psychological number is the 10-cent region, where a lot of that selling actually happens. So we need to see that play out. You'll see the volume here, June 22nd, heavy volume. Again, you see it all over the charts. We just like four charts here. You see this on June 22nd. A lot of the crypto charts had this candle over here, showing you a lot of volume, a lot of selling volume, but pretty much indecisive wicks to the upside, wick to the downside. Buyers push the price action against the sellers back up, and sellers push the price action back down after buyers try to come in. Very narrow body candle, a lot of indecisiveness in the market. So we need to see how that actually goes, and we need to, at least for the short term here, maybe on the 4 hour, you'll see a bit more clearly. It's right here. This, in my opinion, is where VeChain is currently sitting at, and we definitely 100% we need to break above those levels. From this level, from what we're sitting at right now, that's 8 cents, all the way above to the 10 cent, until we start being a bit more bullish on VeChain's price action.
Yeah. No, I'm most agreement. And just to answer one of your questions there, so the current total crypto market cap is 1.37 trillion. So we have been losing a lot of trillions, but that is the current market cap. And if we're excluding Bitcoin, so basically the altcoin market cap is 726 billion. Very interesting. Dude, this is such a tiny market. Such a tiny market. There's individual stocks worth this much. I mean, Apple or what is Facebook is worth this much. Yeah, we're in such an immature market, such early days, folks. And so, look, man, I think the main takeaway here is simple. Folks, looking at Ethereum, looking at Cardano, looking at Bitcoin, looking at VeChain, we are in a bear trend. We're losing constant layers of macro support, putting in lower highs, lower lows. The market is bearish right now. So if we want to be confident of the bull trend continuing, if we want to know when recovery can continue and the bull market could continue, if that's what we want to know, then what we need to see is a clear shift, a clear break of the current bearish price structure. We need to actually see that happen. We need to see the evidence of that happening before we can be confident that any recovery can continue. Because at this point, we're seeing a bit of a recovery with Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it's still very precarious because we haven't gotten bullish confirmation. If we want to be confident of a bull market continuing, we need bullish confirmation out the ass. We need confirmation, and several layers of confirmation. So with each one of these altcoins, we're trying to identify the relevant levels of bullish confirmation. So for me on VeChain, it's these 200 EMAs, 200 moving averages, the 200 EMA on the daily and 200 SMA on the daily. That's the first layer of resistance paired with this red trend line from this peak to this peak here that we need to get above and retest bullishly and hold that support. That's the first layer. Second layer is this white trend line from moving average. This is the 200 EMA on the 6 hour. This is the second layer that we need to break above, come back down to retest it, and hold it as support. Get 1 or 2 daily candles fully closing above each one of these major resistance levels, and then Bitcoin holding it together and doing it the same. And only in that case can we be confident of a bull market continuing. Because at this point, we're getting constant confirmation of the downtrend, constant breaking of critical support, constant lower highs and lower lows. So for us to be confident of the bull market continuing, we need to see actual evidence of a break of that bearish price structure. And what it would take to break the bearish price structure is bullish breakouts from resistance, and then bullish confirmations, bullish retests. And then we need to see that several times on high time frames with Bitcoin and these altcoins. And only in that case can we be confident that the bear trend has been broken and that the recovery can continue. Only after we see that confirmation. Until then, any recovery we have is weak, is precarious. And look, if you're a long-term holder and you're willing to hold the next 5 years, and you don't care what happens next couple months, then hell, buy the dip. But if you're a person who's concerned about what could happen over the next couple months, couple years, it's important to identify these critical layers. And if we want recovery to continue, we need to get above several layers of resistance, flip into support. And once we get bullish confirmation and then bullish confirmation on top of that, in that case, we can be confident that the bearish trend has been broken and that the bullish trend can continue. So until we see that happen, the market is still bearish.
100%. Truer words have never been spoken, man. Gerald is saying bear trend, not a bear market, which we do agree. We've been saying, we don't want to label the market as of yet. We want to see what's going to happen. We understand there's a lot of volatility in the market, and we do understand that there's a lot going on outside of the charts. So try to gather all these data points and digest it, understand it, give it a bit of time, give it a bit of patience, and overall see what happens, guys. So yeah, man, I do agree with you 100%. 100%. Are you still with me, man? Hello?
I'm still with you. I'm still with you. Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, I mean, I guess we discussed everything. Maybe we start wrapping it up here. If you guys have any more questions, let us know. Thank you for watching this. We finally, broke above the 200 viewers, man. It's been a minute. It's been actually a minute. We're trying to stay very consistent with these live streams, guys, somewhere around this time, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, between 9 and 10 o'clock. So let us know, if that's ideal time or whatever the case might be. And yeah, let us know if there's any, give us any feedback here. Is something, do you like those kind of live streams? Do you like the smaller, shorter kind of live stream or videos out there? If you're watching this or you just got in, we've been putting clips from this live stream for certain for whatever charts we actually looked at during the live stream, so you don't have to watch the whole thing again, right? Just to kind of respect your time and actually give you the proper information in a very short period of time. So let us know, give us feedback, let us know what you like, what you dislike with the live stream. You want us to eliminate Brendan from this whole live stream, we'll do it right now. We'll cut him off right now off of the live stream. Still salty.
Yo, you're real salty from the beginning of this live stream, bro. Real salty. Did you know that when you like run a lot, people eat salt? That way you can retain a lot of the water you drink.
So it's
when
good
running.
then, man. It's good.
So what I'm saying now is that like you could run a marathon, bro, right now. It's also
I have a lot of salt, man. I have some high quality salt right here.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was a little bit rude at the beginning of the live stream.
Right.
My apologies. I forgot you mentioned a story. My apologies. I will do the best to remember everything you've ever said moving forward.
100%. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. It's gonna make me sleep at night better.
Those apologies were genuine, though. I do apologize.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll catch you slipping. I'll catch you in the parking lot. No worries. But yeah, man. I mean, like, I'm good here. I don't know what else you got to say. If you got anything else, maybe we'll wrap it up and
we can just wrap it up. Summarize last words. Do you want to go ahead first?
Sure. Jay saying your salt adds flavor. Please direct me someone who can help me turn an art
salt
gallery.
Does add flavor.
Does. Please direct me to someone who can. Why is my voice echoing on your end, man?
You're fine to me.
I guess I'm just hearing myself. I guess. Anyways.
Are you?
Yeah. Please direct me to someone who can help me turn an art gallery into an NFT platform on third generation blockchain smart contracts coin. Please. Do you have any answers for that?
Oh, that's a good question.
Rarible?
Yeah, Rarible, but the issue with Rarible and going the ETH route is that the fees are very high. So honestly, I would probably direct you to a Binance Smart Chain NFT platform just to avoid those high fees. So I'd say either go something with Flow, Bakery Swap. I would just I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I would maybe say try something in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, maybe Refinable, something like that. Just something where there's a lot cheaper fees, because that's probably the biggest issue with NFT platforms right now. Things NFT platforms running on Ethereum like Rarible, it's just the fees are crazy. Like the fees are low right now, but if Ethereum picks back up, the fees are going to get crazy again. So I would just say maybe go for something in Binance Smart Chain, maybe Bakery Swap, maybe Refinable, something like that.
100%. You say you have $1 million art gallery as well as a record label with original music needed to turn into NFT on a third gen coin. Yeah, I guess, man. Even if you want to look at something, soon here, I would say, in my opinion, yeah, definitely go for something with lower transaction fees and faster transactions. And if Matic actually pulls through and you have something there, then that's also something you can keep in mind if you actually want to have that security with Ethereum. So, yeah, man,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of options out there for you.
And he's saying, I don't like Binance long term with SEC. Yeah, I
Mm,
know there's reasons not to like Binance as well. It's pretty centralized, and then Ethereum is high fees. So, yeah, no, that's a good question. I'm not aware of too many NFT projects on anything like Solana. I maybe watch out for something on Cardano,
mhm,
especially because when Gogan and smart contracts launch this summer,
mhm,
and Cardano's like actually up and running. There's gonna be a lot of hype, and so it's gonna be very interesting to see what NFT projects pop off on Cardano. So I'd say maybe wait to see what works on Cardano, what big NFT play there is on Cardano.
mhm.
If not, because like I'm trying to think, some of the cheaper blockchains like Flow, I believe that's like for big players and for like large protocols. I don't think they,
Isn't that what NBA top
yeah,
off or
NBA
whatever
Top
has?
Shots used,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? This is a very good question. Honestly, like I don't know if you'll stick around for the next live stream, but this is something like I would want to do research on and maybe
Mhm.
come back to you on. Oh, or you know what? Maybe join our Discord. If I see you in the Discord later, I can do some research afterwards and maybe just mention what I think is interesting. You don't have to do what I say, but just mention what I think is interesting. So I think that's a question I would want to think about.
100%, man.
Yeah,
I guess
good
after we asked
question.
the question, feedback, people are saying enjoy the content. Johnny Vo, thank you. Jay, also thanks guys. And Stack saying thanks for all the analysis all the time. What else we got here? LOL, you guys are great. Don't change anything. Jared, thank you again. And yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll definitely take a look at all these NFTs. We know NFTs are actually where it's at right now. Could actually hold the whole crypto space on its back, and we're seeing how all these, sports companies and big institutions are joining the NFT space because of demand. Much majority of the users don't even care what an NFT is and how the back end runs on the blockchain. So it's definitely adding to that, uniqueness of it. And the user base probably doesn't really care that much of the price of Bitcoin at the moment, whatever the case might be. And we're definitely seeing a lot of people in the sports industry, in the music industry, in the art industry, navigating to that. And if you want to know actually about what's fully happening with NFTs, I think someone that's been really, really following what's happening is Gary V. So check him out on his YouTube. Check out his Instagram as well. A bunch of really good feedback and comments on it. So something again for more resources for you to actually check it out, man. But yeah,
Yeah, and just to briefly just touch on the NFT thing is, look, man, a lot of people don't seem to understand NFTs, and right now it just seems to be for art. But I think the use case is just beginning. I think one day, because NFTs just really prove ownership, man,
right.
one day that could be used for tickets, concert tickets, sports for ticketing, proof of ownership, proof you own a house, proof you own a car, medical things like you can track your medical history and it's secured on the blockchain, can't be hacked. You have the private keys that access your medical information. The use case for NFTs are endless because it essentially just stores information and improves ownership, right? And the use case for that is pretty endless. So man, look, I think NFTs are in their early infancy. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, who knows? You could be buying, selling a car or a house through NFTs. Who knows,
100%,
right? Yeah.
100%, man, 100%. Do you ever want to, hold? Even imagine the gaming industry too, man. All these
Oh
different
yeah,
skins,
yeah,
all these different whatever
exactly. Yeah.
characters. It's only like two of them or three of them, or maybe 10 of them in the whole. Whatever COD, Warzone, whatever you play, League of Legends. I don't know if anyone still plays. What's it called? I forget. I forget. Childish. British game.
Childish. Well, there's a bunch of those.
First-person shooter.
Oh, I know what you.
Anyways.
Fortnite.
Yes, same thing. People are buying skins left and right, which doesn't really add anything to the gameplay, but people like to customize everything and then their personal life, including the digital world they're involved in, it being gaming, it being, being fans of some sort of sport. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind, man.
NFTs could be bigger than DeFi.
It could. I'm telling you, it could actually hold the whole crypto space on its back.
It actually could, because like right now it's just art. But if all these things we just mentioned actually begin to be implemented, gaming, tickets, ownership, music, whatever it is, that's going to bring in more users than DeFi, because DeFi highly technical. It's for financial people. It's something like NFTs have more use case. More people can easily access and adopt its use case. So
100%, and it helps with the irrefutability of of the ownership. You want to buy this vase, that came somewhere in a cave in South Africa, and they just discovered it. Do you want to know, is it the real one, or is it the fake? Whatever the case might be, with NFTs, you don't have that problem. For a fact it's minted for whoever the owner is specifically, and you cannot refute that. And in the gaming industry, man, is going to be revolutionary. We're seeing that happen right now, so it's only right. Now it's which blockchain is going to be the best at it, which blockchain is going to have the fastest transaction, which blockchain is going to eliminate majority of the fees of the profit. These guys, they don't want to move it and give it to the people with a lot of transaction fees. So looks like whatever they can make more profit. And we saw a lot of artists, a lot of musicians actually have their digitizing their albums and dropping it there, and millions were flooding in within hours or days. 24 million, 35 million, and there's a bunch out there. Maybe we should make some sort of an NFT video, man.
We should.
What's happening,
yeah, we should
think about it. That's the thing, man. There's so much to talk about, and sometimes, man, even just talking about it all day is actually not enough. So
I know. What a great question. We talked for like 10 minutes on this for one question. It's a great question.
Man, thank you for asking the question.
It's a great question.
Good luck with your $1 million endeavor. And if you want to send us a check for 600, at least 60% of that, we will gladly take it as well.
Yeah, and I'll definitely think more about your question. It's a very good question, because I'm sure a lot of people are probably in a similar position as you. 100%. So it's a worthwhile question for sure.
100%. So man, we're good to go here.
Can I closing statements? Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try and make it brief here. Folks, I really want to summarize what it would take for me to be bullish in this market again, and for us to be confident and clarify based off evidence what we need to look out for recovery to continue, and what we need to look out for to make it more likely that we could enter an extended bear market. So let me summarize. We are in a bear trend. We are putting in macro, lower highs, lower lows, breaking below critical support. We are in a bearish trend. And yes, we're having a bit of a relief rally right now, but until we break the bearish trend, we're still very precarious. And what it would take for us to break this bearish trend is putting in higher highs, higher lows, and flipping major resistance into support. So for me, I really want to see us get above and have daily candles fully, 1 or 2 daily candles fully closing above these clusters of EMAs. Blue line, 200 EMA on the daily. White line, 50 daily SMA. Yellow line, 200 daily simple moving average. So the 200 EMA, 200 SMA, and 50-day SMA. These 3 clusters of moving averages, extremely price reactive. Once we get above and get daily candles fully closing above these things, we would break the bearish structure. We would put it in a higher high and break major resistance and flip it into support. Until we do that, the likelihood of further downtrend at some point is higher than not, because we're constantly getting bearish confirmation. So if we want to be bullish again, we need to actually see evidence of a breaking of the bearish price structure. We need to put in higher highs. We need to put in higher lows. We need to flip these EMAs into support. That's what I'm looking out for if we want the bull market to continue. If we want Bitcoin going to 100,000 and above, we need to get above these EMAs first and get daily candles fully closing above it. If we're going to enter an extended bear market, I think what it would take for us to do that is get a daily candle fully closing below 30,000. If we get a daily candle fully closing below 30,000, the likelihood of entering an extended correction consolidation phase, you can call it a bear trend, bear cycle, whatever you call it, vastly increases if we get a lower low below 30,000. So that's what it's going to take for us to enter more of a bear phase, and that's what it's going to take for us for the bull run to continue. Wait for confirmation.
100%. Agreed,
Yeah,
man.
that's it for me.
Agreed. That's what we're
Yeah.
seeing right now. We're seeing a bit of a retracement. Specifically at this level, there's the 100 exponential moving average on the hourly chart. You got to really zoom into the price action to see what's going on. So this is what we said. If we, really zoom out on a short term, we had this resistance since it's been, what do we have? Since 15th of June, we had a bit of a, it's been resisting for a while now, almost 10 days. We just broke above it, came back to retest, and now we want to see if buyers will actually come into this level. So 1 hour is kind of painting the picture. Initially, if you're seeing here, we still have what here? 3 minutes and a bit for the hourly candle to close. Again, if you're seeing here, maybe I'll just take this away, take this away, and take this away. As soon as we pushed after this breakout, sellers were in the market. This is a hammer candle, inverted hammer candle, saying that buyers tried to push. Everyone's excited. Sellers came right back in, actually pushed the price action below the opening price, and that caused that downtrend. So this candle right here really signals to the market that sellers are still in the market right now. And this was the level we're breaking, where we got rejected of the 200 EMA. And again, we tried to come back to retest the 100, but we actually failed. So right now, we broke above it again. More buyers are in the market. Not a lot of volume, but buyers were in the market right now here 4 hours ago. Went above, came back down to retest. Now pushed again here. We got rejected off of this price. So initially, you want to see if this trend is going to continue to go above. This was a clear rejection at the moment, but then again, we want to see if this level right here, if the 33,693 is actually going to hold. Let's see if that happens. The past candles over here after a short-term uptrend show us that there was a lot of indecisiveness, but then again, since we were finding some support at this previous resistance we had for a while, it's it's only right to have these kind of candles right now. So we want to see, is Bitcoin going to hold right now? If it doesn't hold at this level right here, then I'm expecting more and more short-term downtrending. So let's see how that plays out. Obviously, this is a very bearish candle. Then again, we do expect a lot of buy. We're talking about some sort of reversal to the upside, but you got to understand that it's a very hard level to break. And Brendan just told you guys about those EMAs. Very hard levels for us to break, but we want to see if this breakout from this this trend that's been well established, is that enough to bring more buyers into the market? We don't know. We want the market to talk to us first before we assume anything, and right now we're seeing some sort of rejection. Let's see if this level holds. For me right now, at a very short term, 33,700 is the level I'm looking at, where more buyers to step into the market. And yeah, I want to see if how that plays out. We definitely did get rejected before. We hovered around it for a bit. Is it going to hold us now? Something we need to wait and see how it plays out. So make sure join the Discord. We update Discord members on the price action more regularly, and yeah, let's see if you wanna stay updated. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you like the stream, sorry. And yeah, man, I guess that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, guys, look, and I would just say as well, ultimately, folks, thank you all so much for watching. You guys are the best. We really hope that you guys can, learn from some of the factors we consider. Don't just blindly follow what we do, but our hope in making these videos is that if you consider some of the factors we consider, you become, more confident in your own understanding, get a different perspective, and hopefully we can all become more confident investors as we learn more and share what's important in this market. So, folks, ultimately, again, like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified if you guys like this live stream. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you guys want to support us and want more access to ourselves, become a VIP Discord member. You get access to our Patreon. The link for that is down in the description below. Go check it out because we're constantly adding more and more value. We're hopefully going to bring a lot more changes, a lot more value. We have tons of interesting stuff in there, from resources from Bitcoin, Ethereum. We talk about trade setups. We talk about our entries. Tons of stuff in there. So make sure you go check that out. And you know what, folks? Again, anytime anything interesting happens, we're going to be talking about it here. So stay tuned in the next live stream, and I'll toss it back to you, man.
Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay hydrated.
And